What's up, outsiders? We're just chilling outside. I just filmed another video, but I had something in my mind that I wanted to talk about. What actually is Mount Veritas, and see it, believe it, obtain it? Because I don't think people actually understand what I mean. Now to preface this video, none of this has to do with anything to do with evil. All of the things I'm trying to do are for good. If you are looking for evil and manipulative ways to make money and anything in that realm of existence, please click off this video or watch this video for it to change your mind or whatever you want to do. But the web is not for you if you have a malice heart. Now, the web is a community of people who want to bring change into the world in a good way and innovate and develop in the world with their purpose, with what they're supposed to do. Now, the web is supposed to empower you in order to do that. But how are some real world things of how we can see the empowerment, see the results and all these things, and have a time frame of how things work? I love templates, I love frameworks, I love things that make sense. So let me tell you how I see it, and maybe you'll share the same vision. The web is in your head. It's a consciousness, it's an idea. It's not anything that's in the solid ground yet, until we, develop more. But right now, the web is a consciousness. It's just an idea, and everybody who takes on that idea and starts moving forward with it will develop the web within the mind. And I won't get into all that, but within the outer world and the external world, co-creating with God in order to bring the things that we have as our purpose into the world. What's an example of that? I just want to help people. But I know that as a human, I suck, and I know that I don't know anything, and I know all these things that are terrible about me. And your biggest weakness, and everything that I saw in my weaknesses, were always what I was supposed to get good at, and my biggest superpower. See, if your biggest weakness is your procrastination, well, guess what? Your biggest superpower is actually not procrastinating. That's when you feel the best. So right now, think about when you feel the best and when you feel the worst. And when you feel the worst, it's much easier to know when you feel the worst. If you just realize that when I'm eating a lot of bad food, I feel bad. When I don't work out, I feel bad. See, all these things that when you feel bad at, those are all the things that you need to start upgrading in your life. The web is a community of people who have negative things and work on them. And by being able to be in a network of those people, you actually start growing because you kind of have a certain level of comparison within the web members. There's this saying that it says the 5 people you surround yourself with are the people who you are going to be like, right? Show me who you walk with and I'll show you who you are, is what my dad used to tell me since I was a baby. The 5 friends, you'll be the 6th one, right? But I started learning and going into this a little bit more, and it's not just the people who you hang around with. The people who you hang around with, you end up comparing yourself to. So it's the people who you compare yourself to that set the standard for who you decide you're going to be. So by being surrounded by people at a high standard, at a high vibration, at people who do things in ways that make you feel like you need to reach that level. See, when I see some of the guys doing push-ups in Rome or push-ups in Portugal or whatever it is, like, you're just working out on vacation, or you're working on vacation, and you're setting the standard of your life of who you are. I start seeing the standard I need to set for myself in order for me to reach that level. Because who you compare yourself to is actually who you'll end up start acting like. So the web is a ecosystem, a community of people for you to compare yourself to, instead of comparing yourself to the people at work, to the people at school, to your parents, if you don't, to your siblings, to anything that you compare yourself to. You start building a standard for who you should be in their eyes. So how do you actually do this in the real world? Well, there's certain frameworks. Mount Veritas is 3 mountains. And what these mountains are is see it, believe it, obtain it. See, the first mountain is the smallest mountain because it's the easiest one. See it. You just need to see an opportunity. And how do you see an opportunity? I made it very easy for you. Join the web and you'll start seeing all the opportunities for you and all the people who are doing way better than you. So you can start seeing how good life can actually be. You need to see a possibility for something better for yourself. That's pretty much the basic level. And that is a constant. So when you're starting out, have your see it be something you actually want. Because a lot of entrepreneurs, they see a better opportunity, but then they see another one and another one and another one. Well, the first important part with see it is see the opportunity and just focus. See it and focus. Okay? Now, once you've seen it, that's pretty simple and pretty self-explanatory. You're just kind of uninformed optimism and you're just climbing the mountain and laughing and you don't realize how tired you're gonna get. And then you get to the top and then you just wanna climb down and like you're climbing the mountain and this is the fastest mountain you've climbed and you're just doing it like it's a challenge. Like you're just trying to get through the mountain because you think that's all there is. And you reach the top of the peak and then you see the way down and then you're like, fuck. You start going down and you get to the bottom and you kind of want to give up. And this is when you realize how hard the second mountain is going to be. Informed pessimism. This part is where 99% of people give up. They realize they need to climb a way bigger mountain. It's going to take longer. It's going to be harder. You're already tired. And you kind of have to start from scratch a little bit. What is this mountain called? Believe it. Believe it is the hardest part. Believe it is the biggest mountain. It is the major thing that is in your life that will change everything that you act towards. See, your belief, it dictates what you do. How does belief dictate what you do? And how do you actually change your belief if you have a terrible belief about yourself? Well, first step is a belief is a foundational thing in your life that holds your morals, your culture, and all these things and leads you to become a person who makes choices related to what your belief is. See, if I'm a Christian and somebody else is a terrorist, we have different beliefs, we have different morals, we have different choices that we, when matching to our belief, believe are right or wrong. So, belief. How does it? That's how. Now, how do you change your belief? Well, belief is built on reasoning. Reasons and reasons and reasons over your time. It's built on how you grew up, how you were treated, and all of these things that happened for you, which most people say happened to me. These are all the reasons you have to believe what you believe. See, if you grew up in a poor neighborhood and complete shithole and whatever, you're not going to have many reasons to believe that, number one, you can even be around the people who you want to be like, you can even reach the levels of that, because you don't even see it in the first place. So how are you going to find reasons to believe it? Well, finding reasons to believe it, very, very simple, very hard. What is hard? Hard is taking one easy thing like going to the gym and making it a huge plan like getting a six pack. You still need to do the same actions, you just need to repeat it over such a longer period of time. Belief. So I believe in Jesus versus Muhammad because I have more reasons. I've read the Bible more times. I've done more things to give myself more reasons in order to believe in Jesus. So I start acting in that way. The second mountain, this belief, it's a pain because it's a constant battle with your mind in order to decide if you actually believe what you say you believe. And it's a constant battle of fighting between, oh, but this, oh no, I'm gonna do this because it's gonna give me another reason. How can you do this? I have a cheat day. I'm working out. I'm trying to get a six-pack for it in a year. But I'm on vacation. I'm going to have a cheat week. I'm just going to eat like shit the whole week. Okay, that can work, but you're just delaying the time that it takes you to end up believing and obtaining what you want. That's all it does. It's not a big deal. It's just, you're just delaying. But now if you, on vacation, develop this lifestyle of habit that you already had where you were, you start becoming the thing, acting in the thing, believing you are somebody who has a six-pack, who can have a six-pack. Because the person who takes a cheat meal probably doesn't think they're going to get it in the time frame that they thought they were going to get it. And they're kind of becoming complacent and making reasons for why they should take longer. That's all it is. So the people who find reasons in between the mountain of believe it and choose to not pursue their goals end up climbing downward. Because there's one thing that definitely shows if you're going to get what you say you want. And it's reasoning, but it's also the frequency of action. Let's go back to the middle of the mountain. If you have a hard goal of, I'm fat and I want to get a six-pack, and you're at point A and you're trying to get to point B and it's like completely different sides, well, start finding reasons. Number one, see the opportunity. I can get there. How can you get there? I saw other people get there. I saw it on social media. I saw it on my, whatever you saw that somebody did for you to be able to see the opportunity of you getting there. Believe it. Start finding reasons for you to be able to do it. Oh, I see this gym beside my house. Oh, it's a cheap gym. Oh, I can actually get a personal trainer for me to be able to actually have better habits and to develop more times and to actually do this thing called habit stacking and continuously grow my reasons, which is just habit stacking in a different way. And as I continue to do this and to show up to the gym and to start seeing results a little bit and to start feeling like shit and all of these reasons that I have to believe that I'm heading towards my ultimate destination, this solid foundation is exactly what you need in order to get past this mountain. Choices reveal character, and this mountain reveals your character. This is where you succeed or you fail. Now, believe it, you spend a little bit longer at the top of the mountain and you do enjoy it a little bit more. And then it stops. And you don't realize how, yeah, it was rewarding, but what's the next thing? And you start climbing down for the next mountain. But you start doubting everything. This is kind of where people have a midlife crisis. You'll see how the mountains work in ages as well. First is like 0 to 25, where you decide, choices reveal character. Up to 25, you decide if you're going to believe and you're going to see all the opportunities you have, or you're going to stick with the status quo and just be a floater and stay wherever it is. You don't even climb the first mountain. You've climbed it and you just fucking hate it, and you hate your life and you have no reason to believe that you're going to succeed in life. And that's what you choose from 0 to 25. Now 25 to about 50, 60-ish, this is your belief, and start building the future that you've always wanted. But this is the midlife crisis that you didn't really think that you would have, at least not this bad. This is where you question everything you've done from the first moment. And you doubt, and you question, and it's a constant battle with your mind. This is where you discover, on the way down, that the first mountain was so easy and that you kind of wish that it was that hard because it's way harder right now. You start looking back at the past and start realizing that it was actually really good and that everything that you wanted actually happened and everything is going great. But that's just the external perspective. When really inside you're questioning all your beliefs, everything you wanted to do, everything you are, everything in your mind. And even though you've gained all those financial goals and everything, this is not about finances. This is about your ultimate purpose and mission in life, obtaining it. Once you've gone over this believe it stage, you can go down to the bottom again. And this is this part where you start developing your actual goal, the actual purpose, the actual mission. And you realize that all the businesses and all the money and everything that you made doesn't matter. And the only thing that you want to do is help people realize your purpose. So if you're an artist, you want to help other artists. If you're an entrepreneur, you want to help other entrepreneurs. If you're a musician, you want to help other musicians. If whatever it is, you want to help the person who is like you. You want to better the world for people to have the same opportunity you had and all these things. How do you get the legacy version, the empire, and the generational version of what you had as a goal? Frequency of action. How to dictate if you're going to get something versus when you're not going to get something is just based on, am I doing it enough times? Because that will tell you how long you need to do it for. If I say I weigh 800 pounds and I want to get a six-pack in 1 year, I'm going to need to work out like 10 times a day. Frequency of action. But if I do it 1 time a day, I'll just take 10 years. So this obtain it part and all these parts don't actually have an option for you to fail or win. It's just, you kind of get to choose. You don't have a possibility for failure if you're continuously finding reasons for your wins. And you don't have a reason to believe that you're going to win if you're continually finding negative things about why you can't do what you do. And this last part in obtaining it is actually where you develop things into the world and become somebody who you never thought you would be. Or maybe who you always wanted to be, but never believed you could. In my life, this stage is a stage where the world changes, where the web just becomes massive, billion, trillion-dollar company because of the market change we're making in the world and empowering people to actually see their purpose and vision and mission for their life. This obtain a part is kind of inevitable as long as you keep going. All these parts are kind of inevitable as long as you just keep going and you just don't give up. These are the 3 peaks. You see it? It looks all great and glamorous. You're uninformed, optimistic. And then you realize how hard that shit is. And then you realize that actually that part was the easiest part. And then you go into the believe it part. And you start looking and realizing how hard it actually is to believe that you could be the person you are. And this is the biggest one and also the longest time that it takes you to develop this belief. Because when you have a belief, you need to break that belief. And it takes kind of as long as you took to build that belief up in order for you to break that same one down and build a new one up. So that one takes a long time depending on how old you are and how many reasons you found and built for yourself. And then the obtain it part, or that believe it part, is informed pessimism. And you know it's going to suck, you know it's going to be terrible, you know you're doing this for a reason though. Then you move on to the 3rd level, and this is kind of like peace, clarity, understanding, trust, love, knowing, happiness, oneness, wholeness, fulfillment. This is the place where everybody's looking to get, but don't realize that that's what they're looking for. You can make $1 billion and believe it, but it still doesn't affect the world. It doesn't change anything. It doesn't kind of help. But when you get to the obtaining part, start obtaining all the things that you said you wanted to have. You start working towards your ultimate purpose. And start developing things in the world that you've always wanted to see. Kind of like the Jetsons or like future movies, like, you know, like Back in the Future or whatever. Kind of things like that. Like, you actually start making innovation. Like, that's just kind of what happens. This mountain of truth, it's not mountains of truth. It's the thing that the mountain of truth is all three, just not just one. The mountain of truth is yourself. The mountain of truth, Mount Veritas, is mountain of truth. It's you. And you're climbing your ultimate version of yourself. It's not climbing all these mountains. And in level 3, you realize that. You realize that nothing matters. That everything is within. Everything is here. Everything is now. Nothing is tomorrow. Nothing is yesterday. It's just right now. That nothing really matters, whether it's the money, the girls, the cars, the riches, and all these things. It's about how you feel. Health, wealth, love, happiness. It's about your purpose. It's about your fulfillment. It's about, are you actually becoming the person who God has put you in this earth to be? And most people get this stage at like 60, 65, 45, 50, depending on the age that they started to believe it. And they just end up regretting it. Everything. Their whole life. Everything they did. So much time wasted. So much this, so much that. And the message I'm trying to send here is that you can get to the obtained stage without being, or you can get to the obtained. The message I'm trying to get across here is that you can get to that clarity, to that peacefulness, to that fulfillment without going through all those steps and becoming 60 years old just to realize that. The web are people who realize that already. Whether you're 14, 12 to 100 years old, I don't care how old you are, because maturity is not by age. Maturity is through experience. And if you can put yourself through enough experiences for you to realize that you are actually already at all stages, you are just choosing to be nervous at the start and get over it. You're just choosing to believe all these reasons for why you need to be so rich and prove yourself to others, and then you need to prove yourself to yourself at the very end. If you just kind of flip that around, removed the first two mountains and the reasons for why you're doing those things, and kind of prestige once you've reached the obtained stage. The thing is, you can prestige at any age. It's just about doing it. And when you prestige, you start seeing things differently. You see the opportunities, but in a different way. You believe in them in a different way, and you obtain them in a different way. Because this is actually the mission you were supposed to chase. This is actually the purpose you were supposed to have. This is actually everything that you were supposed to be. And you can either start this stage at 65, 45, or whatever it is, or you can start it right now. You can join a community of people who believe in this and who just genuinely believe in the world's power for growth and people's power for growth and God's co-creativity with us in order to help us achieve actually who we're supposed to be. Because believe it or not, God is actually trying to get you to realize all this. It's just, you don't listen. Humans don't listen. You kind of have to go through it all alone in order for you to realize it finally. But the thing is why do you have to waste so much time? Why do I want to be really rich and wealthy and all these things? Because of time. You think that rich people don't value time, and that's why they pay employees, that's why they pay maids, and that's why they use money all the time, but it's because they value time more than money. We value time so much more that we're willing to pay 10x the time in order to just gain it back. If you told me to give you all the money for that I earned for the rest of my life, but I'll be fulfilled and I'll be able to chase my dreams, I'll be fine. Go back to the last video. In 2030, you'll own nothing and be happy. We either have the choice to give a power to ourselves for us to be able to fulfill our life by our choices and what God has given us, and find that inner belief in self growth version of ourselves, an ultimate version of ourselves, and give that to ourselves. That's the only person who can give it to you. You can give it to yourself within. And choose to develop the world in such a way that currency doesn't exist. Or you can do the opposite and let other people decide who you're supposed to be. Let other people fund your life for you to be able to live how they told you to be. And for you to play in their little world. You have the choice to choose to give yourself back the power, or to give it to the person who's built the game for you and it seems easy. Mount Veritas is a constant. It's a climb that never ends. Because there will always be evil. For now. But we can get together and fight against it. If we had 13 of the, or 30 or 40, it's not a specific number, of the skill sets that there is, right? Like people who want to do music, barber, like such a cool dog. People who want to do their passion in life, and we just had a table of people who just did that, and there were world leaders who helped people in all ways of what their passion is. Imagine if we had Da Vinci and Van Gogh and all these things in a classroom, but just now, and the biggest musicians in a classroom just now, and the biggest entrepreneurs in a classroom just now. And we built a school for that, where people actually learn from people who had real world results, real world things, like not just bullshit theories who just don't really work anymore. That's my vision. My vision and mission for the web is to get people to understand that you can just stop doing stuff for others and do stuff for yourself right now. You don't have to go through 65 years of suffering. And this lie is told to entrepreneurs that you're doing this and that. Like, you see how I walked you through the first stage, like that mountain, the 3 mountains. It doesn't matter if you're an entrepreneur or not. Everything's in here. Doesn't matter if you're a millionaire or not. Doesn't matter if you're a billionaire. Because once you get to the abstinent stage, you start realizing that nothing you just said matters. And nobody cares. How do you get through it? Well, Mount Veritas is powered by See It, Believe It, Obtain It, and powered by the web. And if you combine all these frameworks together, I guarantee you cannot fail if you don't give up. Because if you give up, you know exactly where you're going. But if you don't, it's a learning journey. Life is the Mount Veritas. Life is the journey. The beauty is in the journey. The beauty is all of it. The beauty is the pain, the sufferings, struggle, the success, and everything in between. The beauty is life. The beauty is being here. The beauty is having the opportunity to be human. The beauty is life. Not everything in between. It's the whole thing all at once. And when you realize that, you'll have this abundance of all the good things coming right to you. Remember, outsiders, see it, believe it, obtain it. Just get at it. I'm gonna go home, get to work, guys.